Hi everyone, it's Ginger. We're just having fun making videos to help you guys out this spring. Everyone's stuck at home. A lot of you have been asking about garden tips. I've been a farmer for a long time, so I'm really happy to show you what I show all my interns very first week usually is how to make a good seedling mix to start your seeds, because that's that time of year. And it's really easy to do. So I just want to show you, this is a pre-made seedling mix from Black Gold. And 70s was charging $18 for this, which is absurd. But you can buy it pre-bagged. It's pretty expensive to do it that way, so I'm going to show you how to do it much easier from a do-it-yourself version. So it has three components. Seedlings like to have a lot of fluff, and they have a nice, like, warm, fluffy base to grow in. They don't need a lot of nutrients yet. Not until they get bigger. They grow past their cotyledons, which is their first two seed leaves, and get bigger. So the very first seed starting mix is different than a potting mix. They're different. So this is just to start the seeds. After your seeds get up in the trays and they get more than two leaves, their first set of real leaves, you're going to want to either feed them with a little bit of fish fertilizer or some nutrients, or transplant them, up-pot them into a richer mix. So today we're just going to talk about seeds. So if you're just going to start from seed, this is an easy mix to do. So you can use, so basically the mix is, it's something fluffy. So cocoa fiber is what I use, or you can use peat moss. Peat moss serves the same purpose in the mix. I have both here. This is peat moss, as you can see. It's really fluffy and nice. It comes from sphagnum peat bogs in Canada. And the reason we don't like to use that anymore, it's actually been over-harvested, so it's not super sustainable to use peat moss like we have been normally using it in the industry of growing. This is, you can see how similar this is. This is coir fiber, or coconut husk. It's been ground up. It's a complete, like, waste product of the coconut industry, so this is a much more ecologically friendly alternative. You can buy it in bricks that are compressed like this, and then you soak it in water and it puffs up into what I have in this bin right here. So to make this really easy, this is the soaked coir fiber, and you see how it looks pretty fluffy, just like the peat moss. So you're interchangeably used in this mix. The second ingredient you want to use is called worm castings. It's worm poop. This is what worms poop out. There are varying qualities. This is my favorite. This is the African. You can get this at Naomi's Organic Farm Supply on Powell in Portland. The African nightcrawler. And you'll see the difference. It's just this beautiful, dark. You can see, like, the individual poops. It's so beautiful. And this is probably worm castings mixed in with coir fiber and then composted, I'm guessing, because it's not as fine of a mix as this one you can see. So either way, though, worm castings. And worm castings are used to give the plant a nice little bit of nutritional base. It has something to draw on. It's completely digested minerals, nutrients for plants, for baby plants. So it's not really high in nitrogen or anything for growth, but it is a little bit of nutrients for the plant. So it's good to have in there. The third thing you want is to have a lot of air in the mix, because you don't want the seedlings to get too wet when you water them. If they get bogged down, especially in Oregon, where it's cold and wet, they can get rot, and they die. So in the tray, and that happens really easily. So you want to keep air in the mix. So you use something called perlite. Everybody knows what, seen this in potting mix. You also use it in seedling mix, and its only purpose, it's a volcanic rock that's been heated and puffed up like popcorn, and its only purpose really is to create space, some air for the seedlings to breathe while they're in the mix. Those three things, and you can use them in equal amounts. So I, as a farmer, make big amounts, so I'm going to do a shovel of the coir, a shovel, that's almost a shovel, of worm, and I'm going to do a shovel of perlite. And now I want to show you that when you do perlite, unless you're wearing a mask, you want to wet it down. You can wet the bag down, or you can wet the mix down. Because perlite is actually releasing a dust. It's not good to breathe. And I'm in a hoop house, so I'm in a little bit of an enclosed area today on this kind of wet spring day. I love my hoop houses for this. You mix it all up, and you saw I already had a little bit of seedling mix in here. And that's basically it. You want to break it up. You want it to feel like damp sand. So that's how wet you want it. And actually, when I just added that little tiny bit of water, you get your hands on it, it feels just about right. You don't want it soaking wet, and you don't want it too dry. You want it to feel like damp sand. That feels good. And that's seedling mix. Again, it has very little nutrients for the plant, but the plant doesn't need anything. The seed provides all the nutrients that baby plants need until it gets past its cotyledon stage, the first 2 leaves it puts out, and then it'll put up another set of leaves that'll look different from those leaves. The first 2 sets of leaves are all fed from the seed. Doesn't need the soil for anything. The second 2 sets need more nutrition. So at that point, you either have to feed it or up pot it. So we'll do another video about up potting because I've got some plants ready to go. This was just for your seedling mix. So save yourself some money. If you're looking for these products, I would go to Naomi's Organic Farm Supply if you're in Portland area, or farm stores carry them. I got mine here in Tillamook, just down the road from us at the farm co-op. And then if you want to see what I do with this, I have these seedling trays, and I shovel the mix into the tray like that. It's a little lumpy. I probably should have. I'd mix it up a little bit. I'm just going a little fast for you guys, but make it so there's no big lumps, because you don't want a huge lump in one cell. And then you just kind of do that. You just push it down, and this tray is ready to go. And when we get to actually seeding, I will compress these cells a little bit, because this is pretty fluffy. So you want to press them down. An easy way to do that is I take another seed tray and I push it, and that pushes the seedling mix down a little bit. See? Seeds like to have a firm base to go into, so this mix is real fluffy. So they want to put their root down into something that has the air compressed out of it. And you are ready to drop seeds in this tray. We'll do that in another video, and I'll show you a little bit about up potting. But I'm doing garden coaching for people. If you want a detailed assessment of your garden and some individualized advice for getting going, I'm happy to do that for you. Just message me. But for now, these are just free videos to help everybody. Thanks. Happy gardening.